Hello and welcome back to Leicester Fan TV. Locks here. You're probably not expecting to see me so soon, but you know it's a Thursday night. It is Friday tomorrow. The weekend does officially begin tomorrow. So I thought, you know, Thursday, one more day, we'll do a show. We'll see what's going on, and we have something new, something different for us to go through today. No manager news, no transfer news, nothing like that. Just as you've seen in the title already, we will be ranking the best or worst Leicester City strikers from the last 20 years or so. Unfortunately, Adi Akinbaye did fall out of that 20-year range, so he's not included. I should have just put him in anyway, shouldn't I? But no, that's what we are going to be doing today, ranking the best LCFC strikers. Before we get on to it, get your comments in. Let me know who's here, because we're going to be doing this together. It's not just going to be me telling you what I think. We're going to be going through it together and seeing what's what. Not every striker is here because that would take a long time. So I've just hand-picked a few good ones, a couple bad ones, and we're just going to see what we can do. Can you also, guys, in the comments, let me know, is my audio okay? Because yesterday I didn't realise until after the show had finished, my audio was a bit dodgy. So please let me know in the comments now if it's okay. Kunal is here. Hi, Kunal. Nice to see you, mate. Andy Medhurst is here. Junior Lewis End of. Ben Morgan's here. Locks. Are we just saying names now? Ben. Locks. Ben. Let me know if my audio is all right, guys. Junior Lewis is not in my list, unfortunately. Like I said, not every player's here, but we've got a few, so it's all good. Don't worry. Don't worry. There's 40 people in the chat so far. Just drop us a like and let me know that you're here so we can start. I just want to say hello to everyone. Thanks for joining. Yesterday there were a load of people watching yesterday where we spoke about all types of different stuff. So let me know if you're here. So I'm gonna show you what the setup is for the show today. So we'll see what's what. So this is what we've got going on. Here we go. So many of you might have seen the tier list before. It's just a standard tier list. We've obviously got a few different Leicester strikers in there down below. Not every striker, like I said, just a select few. But yeah, and then we've got this. We've got the GOAT category. I think we know what's going in there. We've got great, we've got decent, we've got poor, and we've got oh dear. Who's going to go in there? So let's get started. Remember, guys, put your comments in. Let me know who you think should go where, because that is vital to this working. I want everybody's comments. We're not going to really go in any particular order here. I'm just going to randomly select one pretty much. So let's start with the guy that is in the thumbnail, one of three people in the thumbnail, and that is this guy here, Mr. Gary Taylor Fletcher. What are we all saying about Mr. Gary Taylor Fletcher? Which category should we put him in? We have the GOAT category, we have the great category, we've got the decent category, we've got the poor category, and we've got the oh dear category. Where is Gary Taylor Fletcher going out of Leicester's strikers? Ben Morgan says Fryatt, Howard, Cotty, Joachim. Like I said, unfortunately, they're not all here. Not because I forgot them. It's just I just picked a random few. You know, I didn't go for the best exactly the best strikers. I didn't go for the exact worst strikers. I just went in general. Let me know in the comments, guys, by the way, if my audio is okay, please, because it wasn't yesterday. So please just drop me a comment and say whether it's okay. Anyway, we're getting some comments in here, so let's see what people are saying. Ross says decent, nothing bad, and nothing great. Andy said, Vardy said, has to be our best by far. Yeah, we're not going into Vardy yet. We're just going in a random order. Ross says, scored some vital goals and was a decent hold-up player, so decent for me. Ben Morgan, yeah, Dickov. You're just naming players now, Ben. We're going to get to them, so relax. Oh dear, Imtiaz says, and Scott Ryan says, oh dear too. So let's start off our tier list with Mr. Gary Taylor Fletcher, and we'll put him in the oh dear category. Is it a little bit harsh? Could he maybe be in poor? I'm not thinking above that at all, but let me know. I'm gonna put him in here for now because that's what the overriding decision has been. Yeah, do Taylor Fletcher, do Taylor Fletcher. Fletcher is, oh dear, overweight and shouldn't be a footballer. Well, I'm sure he wasn't overweight once upon a time, but yeah. Off topic there, Wayne says, from a Fulham fan, Leicester will bounce back to the Premier League next season. Good luck. Thank you very much, Wayne. Very nice of you to say. Ross, nobody's told me in the comments yet if my audio is okay. So, Ross, come on, mate. Let me know. Ben, you're just still naming players, mate. We're going to get... Just relax. Just let me know what category you think they should be in when we get to it. Locks, this list is wrong on many levels. Half of these people will say, oh dear, because they don't know who he is. Yeah. His initials were GTF for a reason. I think you're referring to get to something else. Thanks, Kunal. Thank you for being the first person to clarify my audio is okay. Matthew Warren was fairly decent, just not very athletic. So where do you think he should go? We've gone with oh dear, but I could be persuaded to go to poor, so let me know. Anyway, guys, next up, we're going to go with this man here. We're going to go with Shinji Okazaki. Now, I want you to try and answer these without sentiment, yeah? With sentiment aside, okay? Sentiment aside. Let me know what you think. Yes, we won the league with him, but as a striker, what do you think? Gary Taylor Fletcher is getting a little bit more love now, so I'm just going to move him to poor. I'm going to pop him in poor. Will anybody else, though, be in oh dear? Because I haven't got the worst strikers in the world on here, but we'll see. The first shout here is from Kunal. He says, great for Okazaki. Dalton says, Okazaki, great. Andy says, Shinji, decent. Scott says, decent. Ben says decent, didn't score many, but made a lot of space for Vardy. Imtiaz says great. Any more for any more? I think you're still talking about Gary Taylor Fletcher, Ross, so I'll ignore that. We've got a couple for great. We've got a few now. I think it's pretty much split at the minute. Great, decent or great is fine. Ross, what do you think? You just said a workhorse, but let me know what category he should go in. GTF is oh dear though. Well, we're gonna go on like a democracy here, so we'll see. Scott's is amazing grafter. At the minute from the comments for Okazaki, I'm thinking maybe somewhere between here, but a few more comments will help me make my mind up. For now, I'm going to stick him in decent. For now and see what happens. By the way, guys, because we're going through loads of players, when you put in your category where you think they should be, can you put the player's name first, like Ross has done? Decent for Okazaki. Just clarify who you're on about when you give the category, because it will help a lot. When's the new championship shirts out? The home shirt is out on the 30th of June, and the away shirt is not yet announced. In between decent and great is perfect for Okazaki, on the borderline. Interesting. No, Gary Taylor Fletcher was okay. Did you watch us in the Championship 10 years ago? Yes, I did watch us in the Championship 10 years ago. However, I don't think he really should be in anything above decent, and I think poor's probably the right category for him. Next player up. We've gone with Okazaki for decent, but I can be persuaded, like I said. Next up, we are going for this gentleman here. Harry Kane. I think I know where this is going. Obviously, look, one of the best strikers to ever play the game, you could say. You know, definitely in England, of course. But for Leicester, where does he go? Personally, I think he goes in O'Dear. It's going to take a lot of persuading. I don't know where he should go. But for us, I'm on about for us. Should he be in O'Dear or should he be in Poor? I don't remember him having too many good games for us. He didn't play much, but I'm getting a lot of Poors, so let me know. Only 1 or 2 O'Dear. For Leicester, he's Poor. We're getting a few Poors in, so that's where he is now. Keep letting me know. I'll try and get comments on where I can. Imtiaz says for Leicester he's Poor. Jack says Poor Harry Kane. Is that Jack? Jack? Yeah, that is Jack. Hi Jack, how you doing? O'Dear for Kane. Amazing for Spurs, but O'Dear for us. It's a nice one, Ben. Bench warmer for us. That's not a category, Dalton. Did you actually give me an answer? You did. Yeah, O'Dear for us. Yeah, I'm gonna make Harry Kane the first O'Dear. Scott Ryan says Kane should not be on the list. Why shouldn't he be on the list? This is just a random striker. It's not particularly the best strikers, and it's not particularly the worst. It's just a random selection of strikers. We're gonna go with O'Dear for now. Harry Kane for us, of course. We need to kind of clarify for us, O'Dear. Next up, we have this man right here. This will be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to seeing what people say. Mr. Chris Wood, iconic goal against Watford where the ball is smacked across his head and it rebounds into the back of the net. Let me know what you think for Chris Wood. I'm thinking decent for Chris Wood, but let me know. Let me know what you think and where he should go. We're getting a few decents here. Decent, says Jack. Imtiaz says decent. Dalton says decent. Scott says decent. Matthew says decent. Wood. Andy says decent. So this is definitely the most stonewall one we've had so far, where pretty much everyone is agreeing. Somebody said good, but that's not a category. I think decent is the best place for Mr. Chris Wood. So let's go with that. Andy Young as well says decent, so that's good. Next up, you can stop with your Chris Wood comments now. We are going to come back at the end of the video and basically see would we make any last minute adjustments. Ross says great in the Championship, was great, but Premier League wasn't great, so decent for me. Yep, that's where we've gone so far. Who shall we go next? I know there's 2 David Nugents, by the way, so ignore that. We'll leave one of them out. Let's go for this chap right here, Mr. Steve Howard. Stevie Howard. Super Steve, where are we putting Steve Howard? Let me know in the comments. Where are we going to put him? I have a feeling that we're going to be looking around the great category because there is only one GOAT, surely. I mean, we could have a couple GOATs if you want, but, let me know. We've got a few comments already. Jack says, great, Steve Howard. Ben says, super Steve, great. Howard, decent, Matthew says. That's an interesting shout. Scott says, great. Rossi, I keep calling you Rossi, mate. Ross says, great. Without a doubt, he wrote the book on workhorses. Super Steve, great. Super Stevie Howard. Decent Howard, Imtiaz says. There's a couple decents, but I think the overwhelming majority is for sure Steve Howard. Where are you? There you go. The first entry into our great category. So it's pretty much split at the minute. We've only got Harry Kane and O'Dear, but again, we're going to come back to it at the end and we'll have a little play around and see what's what. We'll also put them in order of, should Okazaki be the best in the decent category? So we'll see. Let's see a few more comments on Steve Howard. I say decent too, but great on his day. Patrick Hook says 2 old goats. Let's see who's next. Next up, we are going to go very present. And that is this man here, Kelechi Iheanacho. Where are we all saying Kelechi Iheanacho goes in our tier list of GOAT, great, decent, poor, and oh dear. I'm starting to see now where there could be a category. There could have been a category between decent and great. You know what I mean? There could have been a category. Good, maybe. But decent is good. Good is decent. So, yeah, that's... Yeah, you just... I don't know. It's an interesting one. It is an interesting one. Let's see what some people are saying here. Where is it? There we go. Nacho decent, very inconsistent, somebody says. Andy Young says Nacho decent. Better if you could control a ball. Poor 2017 to 2019 and 2020 to 2023 great. So decent for me. Kel is great. Nacho decent. Kelechi poor. Jack says great Kelechi. Scott says poor. Kel's go. I don't think so. This is an interesting one, guys. It's pretty split at the minute between great and decent. There's a couple of poors, but I think that's harsh. Decent, great, but I could argue great sometimes because of his FA Cup stats, his 2020, 2021 stats as well, man. I've changed my mind. Decent, Jack says. Nacho the GOAT, I don't think so. Blue says decent. All right, this is an interesting one, guys. For now, I'm going to pop Iheanacho in decent. We're going to come back to it at the end, but we will see where we get. I think he could be in either of these categories, in my opinion. Is he better than Okazaki and Wood? We'll mess around with everything at the end. Next up, we have this man right here. His fellow Nigerian, Ahmed Musa. Ahmed Musa. Where is Mr. Ahmed Musa going in our tier list of oh dear, poor, decent, great, and GOAT? I am looking forward to seeing what people say here. Let's have a look. So far, we've just got Kane in oh dear and GTF in poor. So let's see what people are saying. Hi to you, TZ1. Thanks for clicking and watching. Steve Howard at DK. Yeah, that's the Steve Howard comment. Here we go. Scott Ryan, it says Musa, oh dear. Matthew says Musa, oh dear. So we're getting a few oh dears here. Dalton, oh dear. Scott, oh dear. Andy, worse than oh dear. Musa, oh dear, says Ben Morgan. Simon says oh dear. Matthew says oh dear. Ross, yeah, Ross says great against Sheffield. Hey, and don't forget, Ross, Barcelona. Jack says oh dear. Patrick says oh dear, oh dear. This is an overwhelming oh dear for Ahmed Musa. Let's move on. I don't need to hear any more. Next up we have this gentleman here, Mr. Ian Hume, who we've had on the channel, a friend of the channel, Ian Hume, Canadian striker. Back in the day for us, when I say back in the day, I don't mean like the 80s and 70s, obviously, but, you know, in early to mid to late noughties. Ian Hume, where is Ian Hume going, everybody? Let me know. There are a few comments here. Somebody already has said decent, which is what Scott has said. Let's have a look. Here we go. So Matthew says decent. Scott says decent. Humey decent, says Ben Morgan. On second thought, Musa is actually poor. I don't know about that. Decent, says Jack for Ian Hume. Patrick says good. Again, Patrick, there is no good category. So is it great or decent? Which one? Hume decent for the time we were in the championship. Simon says decent. Max says decent. I'm not familiar with Hume, so don't know. Hume, says Ross. We're getting a lot of decent. I do have Ian Hume's number. That isn't me trying to flex or anything, so I will let him know after the show what people say. But let me know. For now, he is going straight into the decent category. You know, on par at the minute with Iheanacho, Chris Wood, Okazaki. So yeah, that's what we've got so far. Next up on the list, we'll quickly get Ross's comment in. Decent to say how poor he was between 2005 and 2008. Next up on the list is this man here, David Nugent. Now, for me, there is only one category that this man can go in, and I'm going to go and put him in straight away. So let me know if you agree or disagree. I'm pretty sure everyone will agree with me there. He has to go in the great category. No questions asked. Get your comments in. Matthew says great. Andy says great. Whoa, I'm getting a load of comments in here. Blimey. Ben says great. BB79 says great. Nice. Great. Should have added Slimani. I know I did forget Slimani, actually. Here's one I actually did genuinely forget. The others aren't here. I just chose not to do it because we're going to run out of time. Great for Nugent, Scott says. Karen says great. Mac the Gorilla. Nice name there, Mac. Great. Nuge, great. Lee agrees with great. Nugent says great. Nugent says great. Jack says Nugent, great. Imtiaz says great. Dalton says great. Yes, we all know this story, Ross. David Nugent, he played for England and he represents the famous Leicester City against Andorra. He was the scorer and he's going to score another goal tonight. Great song that was. And we all know what he did as well. 1 game, 1 goal for England. Ask Ipswich. Nice one, Patrick. Nice one. So, yeah, David Nugent is staying right in there. There is another David Nugent one for some reason, so I'll just put him on the end. I don't know why I've got 2 of him. Next up, we're going to go with Paul Dickov. Paul Dickov, everybody. Where does Paul Dickov go? Let me know. I think probably around here. I'm going to put him there. But let me know in the comments. Great, Dickov. Scott says goat. I think there is only one goat. If I said goats with an S, then maybe. Jack says great. Matthew says great. The Pest, great. Imtiaz says decent. Scott says great for Dickov. Keep getting your comments in and let's see what people think. I have put him in great already, so let me know if half of my face is missing here. Mac the Gorilla says great. Ross says great. Got us promoted despite administration. Decent. Can't be great. And title winner Okazaki. Decent. Yeah, but we're not on about... Like, it's like Andy. It's like saying, who was better. I don't know where I'm going with this, but... Ricardo Pereira or Danny Simpson. For me, Ricardo Pereira in his peak is a better fullback than Danny Simpson. But Danny Simpson won the Premier League, so Ricardo can't be better than him. He can be better. Ben says more than one goat if we're going further back. Yeah, well, we're just sticking to the last 20 years and we're just having a select few. Jordan says Ricardo was better than Danny Simpson. He is. Ricardo was a better fullback than Danny Simpson, but he didn't win the league. So that's why Dickov can be in the same category or above Okazaki. So we're going with Okazaki. We're going with Dickov for great, which is great. Let's see what we have next. Who should we go for next? Who to pick from? We've only got 5 left, guys. Let's go for Jermaine Beckford. Where is Jermaine Beckford going? Get your comments in. Keep them flying in. And let me know where you think Jermaine Beckford is going to go in this list. It's a tough one, this, because he had some good times, like his hat-trick against Forest. The FA Cup man, Jack says, which is spot on. A bit like Iheanacho. Beckford's oh dear, says Ben Morgan. Scott says poor. Jordan says decent. Jack said the FA Cup man, but yeah, where, Jack? Where am I putting him in the list? Where is Jermaine Beckford going in this list? Scott says too inconsistent. Jordan says decent / poor. Yeah, I mean, he's hovering around here, isn't he? He's definitely not great. He's hovering around here. I'm going to put him here for now. I'm going to put him here for now, and we will mess around with it afterwards. And when I say mess around with it, I mean, for example, if you think Nugent was better than Howard, we would do this. Yeah? We will move them about this way. But this is just all about what category they're going in. Dalton says poor. Simon says poor. Beckford poor for his attitude. Andy Young says, yep, that's it. So we're going with poor for Beckford. Next up on the list, Leonardo Ulloa. Where does Leonardo Ulloa fit in on our list? I think this might be a little bit tough between great and decent. I'm going to put him in decent, but let me know if you think it should come higher. It's a tough one. If he is indecent, it's at the very, very top. But he could belong in great. So let's see what everyone is saying. Karen says great. Jack says great. Circle says decent. Oh, his name is Leonardo. Leicester's number 23. Yes, he cost a fucking fortune. But if he's good, that's all right with me. Andy says great. Jess says great. Connor says great. Matthew says decent. Great. Ulloa scored crucial goals, said Jack. Ross said great for Ulloa. Great. Should have had a recent category. Great wasn't given game time due to Vardy and Okazaki. Leicester says Monora. Hello, Monora. So yeah, I've been overruled here, guys. I've been overruled, and Okazaki, Ulloa belongs in the great category according to everyone in the chat. We have 3 players left, guys. That is it. 3 players left, because this David Nugent one is a duplicate. We've already got David Nugent in the great category. So next up, we are going with this man, Mr. Jamie Vardy. We are going with Jamie Vardy is going straight up there. Does anybody disagree? I would love to see if anybody wants to disagree with the GOAT. The Leicester City GOAT by far. Scott Ryan, GOAT. Jack, GOAT. Matthew says GOAT. Karen says GOAT. Ben says GOAT. Mac the Gorilla says GOAT. Kunal in with the GOAT emoji. Everybody, get the GOAT emoji in the chat below. It's like those American streamers when they say F in the chat. Put the GOAT emoji in the chat. I want to see for the next 30 seconds spammed GOAT emoji. Please spam the GOAT emoji for the next 30 seconds, but not after that, because that will get annoying. Connor says GOAT. Scott says GOAT. Simon May says GOAT. Ross says 2012 2013 poor, but 2013 now is GOAT. Scott says GOAT. Let's see those GOAT emojis, guys. Get your GOAT emojis in the chat below. Jack, thank you for the GOAT emojis. Imtiaz, GOAT emoji. Paul is that like a... That's what that is, right? That's what that is. I thought that's what it was. Jack, more GOAT emojis. Kunal's spamming. All right, that's enough now. Stop. You're gonna break the stream. That's enough, guys. Thank you for the GOAT emojis. That's great. Yeah, that is where Jamie Vardy belongs, of course, the Leicester City GOAT. Much appreciated, guys, for your emojis there. Right, we have 2 guys left. We are going to go next with Mr. Yakubu. So bad they only named him once, right? Rather than twice. Yeah, Yakubu, where is Yakubu going? Is he going in oh dear? Is he going in poor? Is he going in decent? Is he going in great? And I'm getting ready to see the first person that mentions that goal against Derby. I've got a feeling it will be Ross. What category does Mr. Yakubu belong in? Feed the yak and he will score. Will he be in oh dear? Will he be in poor? Will he be in decent? Don't think he'll quite make it to a great. somehow. But let me know what you think. Does Yakubu belong in decent, poor, or oh dear? Thanks, Jack. Feed the yak, but he won't score. Simon says, oh dear. Jess says decent. Circle says decent or great. Really? Wow. Yakubu, great or decent? Really? This is interesting. Kuno says bad. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Decent. Who else have we got? Remember the Derby goal? Yes, thank you. You're the first person that mentioned it, other than me, of course. Yak, decent. We're getting a lot of decents. Ooh. I've not had many poors, weirdly, but I've had quite a few oh dears, and I've had quite a few decents, but I've not really had many poors. So maybe he just belongs in poor. Derby goal, and that's it. He scored a lot of goals in a poor team. Goat for just scoring against Derby. Yakubu player stats. Should we take a look? Let's have a look, guys. Let's have a look at Yakubu and where he should belong. Here we go, guys. Here is Mr. Yakubu's stats. So he played 20 games for Leicester and scored 11 goals and 5 assists. Now, I bet that surprises a few people. 20 games, 11 goals and 5 assists. Does Yakubu belong in the decent category? Because I can guarantee you any other player, a lot of players, if they put in a shift like that, an output like that, they're getting decent category. So let me know, should Yakubu belong in this category here? The decent category. Along with Hume, Nacho, Wood, and Okazaki. What do you mean, Ben, by the way? I don't get your comment. Am I being silly? For now, he's going indecent. I don't think people remember just how good he was. Max says poor. Jack again, decent. Hat-trick versus Borough. Ray says decent. So yeah, we're getting a few decents here. I'm going to keep him in decent. I'm going to keep him decent. I'm going to keep him there. And then last on our list, guys, is this man right here. Now, for me, there is only one category. He belongs right up there with David Nugent, Steve Howard, Leonardo Ulloa, Paul Dickov. Matty Fryatt. I believe he belongs in the great category. Let me know. You might completely disagree with me, but I think that's where he belongs. So please get your comments in. Fire him in. I want to see what you have to say. I'm very interested in seeing what people think. Here we go. Great, says Karen. Ben says great. Ross says great. Matty Fryatt. Scott says great. Fryatt, great in League One, decent in the Championship. Andy Young says great. So we're getting a lot of greats in here. Simon also says great. Christopher says Fatty Fryatt. Bit harsh, but yeah. Imran says Matty Fryatt was great. Devastated, no junior lose. I'm sorry. Jack says great. So yeah, I think people are pretty much agreeing with me on that one, saying that Matty Fryatt belongs in the great category. So this is what we've ended up with. It's a good question, actually, Charlie. Where would Heskey go? I think probably in the great category. So this is what we've ended up with, guys. So we've got the GOAT, Jamie Vardy. We have Steve Howard, David Nugent, Paul Dickov, Leonardo Ulloa, and Matty Fryatt in the great category. We have Okazaki, Chris Wood, Iheanacho, Ian Hume, and Yakubu in the decent category. We have Gary Taylor Fletcher and Jermaine Beckford in the poor category. And we have Harry Kane and Ahmed Musa in the oh dear category. A couple of comments coming in here. Lee says, Where is Lee's comment? It was just there. Akinbayi, come on. Yeah, I think that was 21 years ago where he left the club, actually, Lee. 21, so he just missed out. Again, Imran, we're not putting every single player, every single striker, because we would be here all day. So it was literally just a case of picking out random ones. Again, Andy, no, Gary, it says the last 20 years. And again, it was just randomly picked players. So here's my question. Here's the last question of the night. And I'm opening this up to the floor. We have our categories, but they're a bit muddled up in terms of, we can move these guys along. So this end, the left side, will be the best end of the category. The right side is the worst side of the category. So I'm not going to go through each one. Just let me know in the comments who should move. Who should move? For me, I will start this up. I think David Nugent belongs at the front here. It's actually quite hard to do this, isn't it? It is actually quite hard to do this. Maybe Steve Howe. I don't know. It's tough. I'm struggling on this. I think Kane was better than Musa. I think Beckford was better than Gary Taylor Fletcher. I think Nacho probably deserves to be there. If we're going on goal scoring, he should be there. But in terms of just player all round, I think that's about right. I think maybe that is about right. And maybe there. Maybe there. Let me know what you think to that, guys. Let me know if you think that's any better. We're the left side, we're the left side, we're the left side over here. I think that's pretty much spot on, guys. You let me know quickly before we finish up on this tier list. What can we change here? We're stuck with the categories. We're not changing the categories. But should some players be further along than others? I think the bottom two are spot on. I think Musa is the worst player in this list. Then Leicester City version of Harry Kane, Gary Taylor Fletcher, Jermaine Beckford, Chris Wood, Ian Hume, Yakubu, Iheanacho, Okazaki, Ulloa, Fryatt, Dickov, Howard, Nugent, Vardy. So the question we need to ask, just to sum this up, out of this list, are the best three strikers Vardy, Nugent and Howard? That's what I want to know. Out of this list, are the best three Vardy, Nugent and Howard? Last question. What do you think? Keep getting your comments in, guys. We're going to have a very, 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 very short chat at the end about manager hunt. Kevin Phillips, somebody said. Karen says yes. Karen does think that Vardy, Nugent and Howard were the best three strikers in that list. Do you class Mahrez as a striker? No, I do not, Andy. Definitely not. He would be up there with... I think we could probably have Mahrez and Vardy as GOATs, maybe. Maybe we could have made an exception for Mahrez in the GOAT category, but no, he's not a striker. No chance. Somebody dropped a comment here about... let's talk about managers. That'd be great. Yeah, I mean, look, what can we say? Leicester City have spent so long umming and ahhing. No manager announcement yet. Hopefully there is an announcement soon, guys. Hopefully there is an announcement soon. We're linked with Scott Parker, Steven Gerrard, Kieran McKenna, Dean Smith, obviously, Enzo Maresca, and Scott Parker. I think I said Scott Parker. So, yeah, we're linked with a few names, but there's just no sign of any update. And I think it's absolutely awful that we haven't had an announcement yet of who our next manager will be. Because we need one. Get a manager in, let him decide what he wants to do with Maddison, Barnes, Ndidi, Iheanacho, Castagna. Let him decide what players are going to come in. But no, there's no sign of any new manager whatsoever. So, linked with Peter Taylor as well. Bloody hell, Christ. Guys, we're going to end it there because this wasn't a manager. This was just about the best strikers. We're going to make it a series where we talk about midfielders next. So let us know in the comments once this video is finished what midfielders you would like to see in the next tier list video that we do, and I'll try and get them all in. We're also going to do a kit tier list at some point, which will be fun, I think, ranking the best kits of our history or recent history, because it might be a bit of a pain in the arse to go back 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 years. So let us know. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Go check out the video on the channel from yesterday. We spoke about managers and players and all sorts. So that'll be great if you could go and watch that. And finally, last words from me. If you can please scroll down on YouTube, just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It will be much appreciated. We'll see you very, very soon. Jamie will be here on Sunday for his Aftermath show. I might be back at some point in the next couple of days. I definitely will be if we have a manager announcement. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much. And come on, you foxes. Come on. Let's go.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.